Hi Anindal. So in the previous class we learned about a control or an activity called element exist. Okay, and through this we learned how we can able to ensure whether a specific UI element is present or absent, right? Example for UI element can be a window, or it can be a component in a web page like a button or a text box for that matter, right? And along with this we learned one more interesting control or activity called element scope. Using this control or activity, we can able to target a specific UI element using indicate on screen option, or either you can you can get that option by clicking these three horizontal lines, and then in the do while loop you can take multiple actions on a specific target element which has been specified over here, right? This is what we learned in the previous class. So in today's class the objective is to learn one more control called find children. So as the name itself says, this is the control where we can able to use in order to fetch the children elements of a specific target element. For example, let us say you people are familiar with an HTML code, right? So there is a tag called table tag which allows us to define a table. So usually this tag will have a children elements like table row or table data. I think you people are familiar with this, etc, etc. Then finally the table should be ended with a tag called slash table, right? So if I take this table as a target UI element, these are table row or table data can be the children elements of this target element, in this case a table. So if whenever you come across a situation where if you want to fetch all the children elements of a specific target element, in this case table, you can go ahead with a find children control. And similarly, if you have a multiple selection box where you can able to select multiple options. Okay, in this case, if you choose this selection box as a target UI element, then the options will become the children's. Suppose if your requirement to extract the options of this particular selection or multiple select box, then you can go ahead with a control called find children control. You can get this activity or a control from activities panel. Like you people are already familiar with dragging or finding the specific activity from an activities panel, right? And you can go through this statement in the presentation in order to indicate a specific target element for the find children control, right? Okay, so usually we will go ahead with this option. This is the straightforward option to indicate the target element for any activity for that matter, right? Okay, and there is an example over here. Just follow this example. Okay, and remember an interesting data structure that we will use in this case is called IEnumerable, which is nothing but a collections of items. Okay, here specifically we are creating a collections of items of type UI elements, right? Okay, I will demonstrate this with a practical example. By using UiPath Studio. There you will understand how to come up with a data type called enumerable UI elements. Clear? Okay, so this is important, right? I will tell you when I directly jump into the practical demonstration for IEnumerable UI elements. Now we shall go to the tool and we shall come back and we shall learn one more interesting activity called find element. So now I am going to the tool. Okay, I will start with a new process. Okay, I will choose the process as find children process, and I want to store the work under the directory UiPath in the D drive as usual. Okay, and let us assume that our aim here it is to use or to demonstrate the use of find children control or activity, right? So we shall do a simple exercise. We shall have that control, and we shall try to extract the children of a specific target UI element, and then we shall try to iterate over all the children elements which has been fetched from that particular target element. Okay, Now it is empty. So as usual I will start with an sequence. Okay, now it is empty. Okay, now as I said, once again I will repeat, our aim is, okay, let us go to the web page. So this is the link that I am referring for this example, and we shall choose this as a target element, and we shall fetch these values as a children elements. As I explained theoretically just in few seconds or few minutes, you can treat this as a target element and options. This is a multiple options component where you can choose this, where you can treat these options as a children elements for this target element. We shall make this as a target element, right? Okay, so first what we have to do is we have to use a control called find children. Okay, and you can get that activity from the activities panel. Okay, this is the option that I was telling. This is a straightforward option. Just click it over here, and remember that is not the only way to choose the target element. There are many ways. I think you already familiar with those things. Okay, I will choose this. Okay, this as a target element. Okay, and as I said, see, this activity will return a value of type IEnumerable UI element type. So we shall try to store that, okay, in a variable called result. Okay, I will create a variable called result, and it can't be of type string. Remember, it should be of type, okay, IEnumerable, where we can't able to find this in this default selection box of variable type. So we have to go with an option called browse for types, and here you will have a filter, and there you type, okay, IEnumerable. Okay, and remember you have to choose a generic IEnumerable. Okay, T represent template, nothing but a generic type. So don't choose this. This is a specific type IEnumerable collection, but this is a generic IEnumerable collection. In this case we need generic IEnumerable collection. Okay, I will go in depth about IEnumerable or collections in the coming classes. For the time being, remember, IEnumerable is nothing but a collections of, it's nothing but a collections like an array. Okay, here you are dealing with a collections of type UI element. Okay, in this drop down box you need to specify the value for this T, and that value again by default it will not be available here. Choose browse for types, and we have to use a type called UI element. So see, remember you have to choose this type UI element, which will be under the core assembly or library. Okay, choose UI element. Okay, remember it should be of UI element of the core library. Okay, then click OK, then OK. Okay, now see here, the result variable is of type IEnumerable UI element. So this is what author will tell, because this activity, this control file children control will store the result in IEnumerable collections. So now I want to store the result, the output, in a collections labeled as result. Okay, in a collection labeled as result. Now our result is being stored in a variable called result. Remember that variable type should be IEnumerable UI element, because children's are nothing but UI elements here in this case. Clear? Okay, then after that we shall our aim is to iterate over all the children elements. So obviously to iterate, whenever iterate or repetitive steps come into picture, then you have to use a loop called for each. Okay, for each item in which collection here, in the collection called result here in this case. So result, and remember for each loop now the type of the items in this loop should not be object. Okay, instead it should be of UI element, because as I said, we have IEnumerable collections, and individual items type in that collection is of type UI element. So it should be of type UI element. So please don't forget to change this type, otherwise you will get an error. Okay, no problem. If you get an error, you will learn many things. But in this case, I am going straight forward because now I am dealing with a collection of where each item in the collection is of type UI element. Hence, I change the type of the element or the argument of for each loop to an UI element. Then in the body we shall use an activity called getText. So this is a new activity for you. So as the name itself says, this getText will return a text of a specified UI element. Just place a mouse pointer where you will get a brief description of that activity. So I hope you can read that. Extracts a text value from a specified UI element. Clear? Okay. Now which text it has to, which UI element it has to refer. So to specify that, you can go to the target, okay, and element. Can you see an option called element here? So here you have to specify the element as item, okay, where that item is present, here. Okay, so what getText has to do means it has to get the text representation or text value of the UI item called item, which is present in a collection called result. This is how you need to interpret. Once again I will repeat, we are trying to process all the items present in this collection one by one. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to fetch a text value of an item, okay, present in the collections. So we will repeat all this for all the items present in the result collection. Now finally what we shall do, we shall use a message box in the loop itself, and let this message box display the string value. Okay, so what we shall do, okay, what we can able to do here, okay, can we use a variable called okay, var. Okay, shall we use for this we shall use another variable called var itself. Okay, let it be string because I am planning to use this variable in a message box. Okay, now what the text value extracted from a specific UI element should be stored in a variable called var. Okay, so once again I will repeat. So for all the items in the collection, first get the text value of individual items, then store that in a string called var, then display the value of var using message box. Then again go to the second element or item, then get the text value of the second item, then get the second text value of the second item, then store it in a string variable called var, then display that content of var using the message box. Then go to the third item in the collection, then get the text value of that particular item, store it in a string variable called var, then display. So this cycle will repeat for all the items present in the collection called result. Clear? Okay, now let us execute this. We shall run the robot and let us see whether it will do the job. Okay, can you see that? Can you see the children elements, water, lemon, papaya, has been fetched from this? See, can you see? Nothing first, guava, then lychee, papaya, then watermelon. These are nothing but children elements of this target element. So we are fetching all these children elements one by one, and then we are displaying that with the help of an message box. So this is one simple example which helps you to understand an activity or an interesting activity or a control called sequence. Clear? So practice this. Okay, watch the video how many times if you require, and if still you have a doubt, you can please message me or send an or you can make a call also. So now we shall continue with another interesting element, or I can say specifically control or activity called find element. So as the name itself says, the use of find element is used to find a particular UI element. Okay, and it usually it will wait for that particular element to appear on the screen, and then finally it will returns back. Okay, either with the You can able to say whether it has been found or not found. Okay, you can use this control in the same way that you have used other control. Means just you can just type this find element in the activities panel, search a box in the activities panel specifically, then you can drag that activity and you can place it on the designer panel. Then you can use obviously indicate on screen option in this activity in order to indicate the target element. Then you can specify the variable of type UI element, it seems. Okay, then all this I will explain practically with a demonstration. Then you will clearly understand about what is this variable of type, how to get this activity, and how to specify the target element. Everything you will understand when I go to the demonstration. Now I will go to the demonstration. Okay, now I will go to the tool. Okay, in order to save the time, I will do the changes here itself. Now I have an empty activity. Now which activity that we have to demonstrate or implement? Find element. This is what I was telling. Go to the activities panel search box or search box in the activities panel, then type find element. Okay, drop it over here. This is the option that I was telling, that you can indicate that on a screen. Okay, for this just again I will go to the notepad, and let us assume I am trying to find this UI element. Okay, then I will indicate that using indicate on screen option. Then what I will do, I will store that result in a variable. Okay, I don't need this result. How to delete any particular variable? Just right click on the, go to the variable panel, go to the variable panels and select the variable that you want to delete. Right click on that, then perform delete operation, variable will be deleted. Right, now here I need a variable called var, and which type of variable it should be in this case. Since we are finding a UI element, the variable in this case should be of type UI element. Okay, then choose the drop down box. Since we have already included this, okay, now in this case you will get that option in the drop down box of the variable type. If you don't find, please follow as I said, go for browse for types, then you, use a filter over there in the new window. In this case anyhow it is there already here, so UI element. Now I will this is what I theoretically they was telling, that in the property window of this window there will be an option called found element in the output property. So here you can store the result. Okay, I think we have created a variable called, I think, var, right? Not result, var, right? So we shall store that in a variable called var, which is of type UI element. Okay, now after this I want to know which actually which type of UI element it is. Then for to do that you can go ahead with a message box activity. Then you can type UI element name var in this case, then press dot. There you will get you will get a drop down box. All these are all nothing but library functions. Okay, there you will find an interesting member or a function called get friendly name. So which will fetch a friendly name of that particular UI element. Okay, now we shall see whether this will work. Okay, first what I am doing, I am using I am trying to find an element of type notepad exe. If it is found, then just display the friendly name of that particular UI element. Now it is running. Can you see here? This is the friendly name of that UI element that we have, that we are trying to find. Clear? So obviously we already have seen in the previous video, if that particular UI element or target UI element is not present, it will wait for some seconds. Then after that it will return false result or nothing as a result. Clear? Clear? Okay, but anyhow even I have explained you how to change the timings. Okay, if you don't want to wait for the default seconds, you can change that to the desired value. Even I have even in the previous video I have demonstrated that. Clear? Okay, and another interesting element that we can that we have to learn is find relative element. As the name itself says, this is an interesting I can say activity which helps us to find the relative element. Means usually this will be used when you don't have a suitable selector for to select that particular or desired element. Okay, the best example for this scenario where you can't find a reliable selector is a dynamic website. Again, I am telling once again, we shall see at the end. We shall take a complex automation project and we shall demonstrate all this. We shall try to incorporate all these activities in order to better understand what are in which situation or scenarios you can able to use these elements or activities. Clear? So here I will demonstrate a simple with a simple example to better understand about this find relative activity. So just go through this content. It is very straightforward, and I will directly jump into a practical session. So to better to save the time, and I will explain all this with a practical demonstration itself. Okay, again, in order to save the time, okay, I will take the find element. Okay, what I will try to do is find element. Okay, I will use that. I don't need message box. Okay, I don't need any variables. We shall delete all the previous variables. Okay, now I have to modify this. So indicate on screen. So if2 resume. So this is the why I resume, because I am focusing on this, and I'm focusing on the edit option present in this notepad. Okay, edit. Now which element that I am looking for? Edit element. I am trying to looking for a UI element called edit element present in this notepad. So we shall store that in a variable called edit element. It should be of type UI element again. Okay, and I want to store this result in a variable called edit element, right? Edit element. Now what we have to do is, using this as a reference, I need to focus on a neighbor UI element which is neighbor to this edit element, I mean towards right side of this edit element. So assume that I can't directly fetch a reference or a pointer to this format option. So using this edit UI element, I need to focus on format element. Did you understand the scenario? Okay, let us assume that we need this, but we don't have any pointer or selectors to directly select this, but we have a pointer or selector to select this. So then using this you find this. This is what relative element means. Okay, now we are using this found element to find a relative element. I mean, relative is nothing but the element which is near to it. Either it should be our left side, right side, or top or bottom. Clear? But we are let us assume we want to find a relative element called format in this case. So which is towards right side, right? Now with that idea, now what we shall do? We shall go for an interesting activity called find relative element. Okay, find relative element. So which element it has to find? A format, right? Okay, now see, can you see a target, I mean input target option here? In the element you specify the find element or a reference element, found element or reference element, edit element, and in the cursor position you can set, as I said, either left, right, or top or bottom. Y for vertical, vertical control, X for horizontal control, and let us assume that it is 20 pixel far away. Okay, let us be more simple. Like it is right side of format is the right side element with respect to the edit element, right side. That's why I'm giving some value called 20. Later on I will tell you how you will get this information. 20 itself, why not 200, why not 30, why not 40? I will explain that in the coming classes. Okay, just make it simple. Towards right means positive value, towards left means negative value. Suppose using this element I need to find a relative element called file. So in this case, file is on the left side of this edit element, so I need to go with -20. Okay, so you can try this, it will work. Okay, now I am focusing on format. I need to find format, that's why I will go with the positive value 20, but don't worry, I will tell you how to find the 20 in the coming classes. Clear? Okay, or still, I mean, since you don't know as that way, that straightforward approach is trial and error. Just you can enter 10 and see whether it will work, 20, then it will work, 30, it will work, like that. That is a straightforward approach. You can use, you can experiment or even that. Okay, clear? 20. Okay, then I want to store this. I want to store that relative element in one more variable called format element. Okay, that should be of type again UI element. Okay, this relative element should be stored in a variable called format element. Why I am storing that? Because later on I can reuse that, I can perform some actions over that. Clear? Format element. Okay, I will demonstrate what I said recently. Okay, click. Okay, now see here what it should click, which element it should click. I won't indicate on screen by using this option. Instead, I will specify which element it should click by using an option called element in the target. Okay, so it should click on format element. So this is what I said, store it in a variable so that you can use that in future. Okay, now this is empty. This is the target window, and this is a found element, and using with the help of this we are trying to find the relative element, which is nothing but format. Okay, now we shall demonstrate. We shall see our robot will do the job. I'm running the robot. Can you see here? Can you see here? It has clicked on the format, which is nothing but a relative element for the edit element. Like this you can use, or you can demonstrate a relative element. Okay, that the simple, for explanation purpose I'm taking a simple examples. So practice this example so you will better understand the controls or the activities. Later on we shall do a complex automation project, as I said, to make use of all this. Okay, so before concluding this session, just I will recall what we learned in this classes. Just we learned an interesting control called file children. Okay, as the name itself says, it is used to fetch the children elements of the target UI element. And remember that children elements will be stored in a variable of type IEnumerable UI elements. And I have explained you how to get this data type. Then we learned about find element. As the name itself says, this control is used to find a particular element, and this control find relative element is used to find the relative element. And when you will go with this, when you don't have a suitable selector to select a target UI element. Clear? Okay. So in the next class we shall see about get ancestors and indicate on screen. Moreover, you already have familiar with this indicate on screen. We shall continue with other concepts, interesting concept in the coming classes. So once again I will say, if you have any doubt, you can message me or you can call me. Okay, with this I will conclude this session, and we shall see in the next class. Thank you, and all.